Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Homeschool Live at the Old Schoolhouse. I'm Heather, and today I am joined by Rebecca LaPlante with Radford College, located in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia. Go ahead and leave any comments throughout the interview, or if you're watching the replay, leave comments as well if you have any questions, and we'll be sure to make sure those get answered for you. If you're watching live right now, go ahead and share this video with your friends, especially if you have any friends with teenagers, any homeschool teenagers who are thinking about what they're going to do when college comes around, whether they're a junior or a senior. Let them know that we're live right now. They can hop on with Radford University and ask any questions about the college admissions process and about the campus and the programs itself. And now I am excited to introduce you Rebecca LaPlante. She has over 2 decades of dedicated service in the college admissions field. Her career has been marked by a commitment to higher education, and she has a passion for helping students navigate the college admissions process, which can be such a difficult journey. Many parents can be nervous, many students can be nervous, and I'm just so thankful that, Rebecca, that you're here to share with us about what you have to offer with Radford. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you all so much for having me. I look forward to the conversation today.
Me too. What our viewers don't know is Radford, this is an unusual homeschool live because Radford is right down the road for me. So I am personally looking forward to hearing more about this college now that I have teenagers, 3 teenagers, 1 graduating senior in my home. So I have driven through the beautiful campus. It is gorgeous, guys. It is beautiful. I mean, you just step out on the campus and it's just a beautiful scenic view. It is just so welcoming and gorgeous. And I'm so excited to hear more about it. Can you tell us everything we do know about Radford University in Virginia?
Absolutely. Happy to do so. First of all, Heather, I'm happy to be your personal, like on speed dial as you go through the college search process with your 3 teenagers. Because again, as we talked about, it's a very daunting process for a lot of families. So I'll just quickly add before I dive into Radford. I was a first generation college student myself before I attended Radford many years ago. And I definitely remember that trepidation, apprehension, and all of the things that come along with thinking about the college journey and going away to school. So for me, I was so thankful for all of the individuals in my life that supported me. And that's part of where I feel like I fit so well within the higher education model of supporting students and families. So I have a special place in my heart for that. So for all of you homeschool students and families listening in, please know that first and foremost, we at Radford are very much interested in supporting you through your journey and through the college application process. As far as giving you the specifics about Radford, I'll go ahead and admit in the very beginning that I'm a little biased. Radford is where I have earned 2 of my degrees, and I absolutely feel like we have an amazing opportunity for students out there. We get to be one of those smaller, medium sized schools in Virginia. You have lots of great choices for those of you that are looking at schools in Virginia and, of course, outside of the state. But Radford ends up having a population of just under 8,000 students, which is made up of 2 different campuses. So we have our main campus, which the picture behind me is from our main campus with our beautiful fountain in the center of our picturesque, very quintessential college campus where we have the opportunity for students to engage with their faculty, with their peers, and really have that support. We also have a campus in Roanoke, Virginia, a little closer to where Heather lives, and that campus is going to be our Radford University Carilion campus, and the opportunity for students to be in a true hospital setting in that region. So that gives you an idea of the 2 different types of settings that we have. Now, thinking about our academic programs, we have so many to choose from. We get a lot of recognition and a lot of information in the news about our nursing program, which has a direct admit program at main campus and in Roanoke. We also are very well known for programs like criminal justice and opportunities in education. We were founded as a teacher school back in 1910, so that gives students the opportunity to really understand and see programs in being a teacher, and we have specializations in deaf and hard of hearing and special education, elementary, secondary options. So again, giving students the opportunity to really branch out into the fields that are of most interest to them. We're also very fortunate to have a strong business program. Our sciences have facilities that are state of the art, everything from chemistry and biology to going into programs like cybersecurity. So if you're that computer science student in the background, we have absolutely wonderful programs for you. Our performing arts are alive and well, and we have a new building that is going up right now on campus to really host all of the facilities and state of the art equipment for those students. So, just lots of exciting things. I could go on and on about all of our academic programs because, again, students are getting that hands on experience in the classroom and that one on one time with their faculty. Our faculty to student ratio at Radford, or rather student to faculty, is 12 to 1. And that's a
Wow.
wonderful way for you to really see small class sizes and ability to maybe do undergraduate research or have access to internships and opportunities that are going to help set you apart when you graduate from a college or university. So just knowing that those are the types of things available. Lots of activities on campus, over 250 clubs and organizations. So even though we're a small to medium sized school, we're Division One in our athletics, and there's lots of
Mhm.
things to be involved in, lots of ways that students can really make the most of their experience on a college campus. So, again, Heather, I could go on and on, but I'll pause there talking about who we are at Radford and happy to continue answering more questions.
I just love the variety of the different academic avenues that a student can take, and it's not just specialized in one, but there's so many that they can choose from. And then of course, my college experience as well, the activities, that's always a bonus, and the fact that you have so many, can reach so many different people. And I know a lot of our viewers within our audience are Christian, and you had mentioned before the interview that you do have Christian organizations on campus, correct? That campus groups that meet that are Christian.
Absolutely. Yes. I was sharing with Heather that we have, again, those 250 clubs and organizations. And I believe right now we have at least 12, if not more, that are faith based organizations. So it's wonderful to know that students have that opportunity to continue to come to a college campus and have the opportunity to be with students that they want to worship with, that they want to spend time with, that they're looking for that engagement of individuals that are sharing the same views and beliefs as them as well. So absolutely, strong organizations on our campus. Cru, I would say, is probably one of our larger faith-based organizations, and I know that we have several of our tour guides in our tour guide program. That's a very important part of their experience in college as well.
I love that because I know, some students when they go to the college, when they go to college for the first time, and they're just not sure where they're going to worship or who they're going to worship with. So just knowing that there are options available, just I think can ease their minds and their parents' minds, and that's absolutely wonderful. So I'm really curious about the two different campuses. So you
Yeah.
said there's one in Roanoke, and I've driven past it and I see Radford Carilion. So obviously that would be for nursing, or exactly how does that work and what does that entail?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's just one application that a student has to complete, and they can choose which campus that they're interested in. So
Mhm.
we are members of Common App, and we also have another application on our website that students can access. So as far as the programs go, we have a couple programs that exist at both campuses. We have our nursing program, which is the exact same coursework, the same clinicals, the same access to the state of the art equipment. Our simulation centers and things of that nature are available to students at both campuses. Exact same program. It just depends on where you would like to be on a maybe more traditional campus like the main campus in Radford, or if you're looking for that setting, which is in a hospital, that's going to be in Roanoke. So a lot of times it has to do with maybe where students are in the process. We have more non-traditional students regarding the fact that maybe they're coming back to school, or transfer
Mm.
populations that are at our Roanoke site. But we also have an amazing freshman population and new freshmen, new first year students that start with us there as well. And then we also have a medical laboratory sciences program that exists and is available at both sites, so on the main campus as well as in Roanoke. And then there are some specialized programs that are only available at the Roanoke space, and that would be at our Roanoke site. Things like our emergency services program, respiratory
Mm.
therapy, and then, of course, there are many more graduate and doctoral programs that exist at the Roanoke campus. We have an early assurance doctorate of physical therapy program now at Radford. Those students can start at either the main campus or in Roanoke. And programs like allied health sciences and biology are traditional for them to start out with, but then they would be assured if they meet certain criteria to get to be in the doctoral program through Radford University Carilion. So those are some exciting options that we have available.
So you would say that, you know, would you agree that if you come to the Radford University campus, that would be more of a country setting, and then if you went to the one in Roanoke, they would get a small city kind of
Yeah.
a vibe there?
Yeah. Yeah. So our location in Radford is about 45 minutes from Roanoke. And
Mm.
in Radford, it is a much more of a college town setting, I would say. So definitely, we're about 20 minutes from Blacksburg. And so there's another university nearby. And so for us, our population and the opportunities and things that exist within the Radford community is definitely a little bit smaller, but also still having access to two institutions and universities means there's a lot of activities, a lot of things available for our students. But yes, in Roanoke, 45 minutes away, it's going to be more of a city, a little bit more of an urban setting. Those students live, if they need a space to live, they live in the Patrick Henry, which was a hotel that converted into residence hall spaces, apartment style spaces for our students. So again, a short walk, not far at all from the Radford University Carilion campus, but just a different type of setting. And there's still activities and organizations and things for our students to be a part of, but it is just a little bit different than what that college campus would look like on main campus.
That is really neat. The students have that option when they're
Yes,
applying. That is so cool.
absolutely.
So, would you mind sharing with us how Radford University can help homeschooling families in particular?
Absolutely. So I mentioned our size a couple times now and thinking about our interactions with our faculty and students. So the students that we've worked with in the past that are coming to us from a homeschool background have been particularly uh, enjoy the opportunity to come to Radford that because it is a smaller setting and because they're going to have the opportunity to get to work with their faculty one on one and have that support in place. We have a lot of support systems for our students, and I think that's something making that transition. If you have not, been in a transition that's been as large or been in a space that's been as large prior, knowing that you would be able to do that transition on a little bit more of a basis that's more individualized based on how you learn and how you are best in those academic settings. I think that's where we've seen a lot of advantages for our homeschool families. But again, our faculty are very accessible. They are known for being available outside of hours for their students and supporting them through their college journey. And I think that is a huge testament to who we are as an institution. But I think it definitely works really well with our homeschool families because they've been more used to that one on one attention and that individualized approach to their education. So being able to carry that through, I think, makes that transition to college a little bit easier. And that's definitely something that we're happy to be able to provide.
I love that. So, would you be able to describe what you see as one of the biggest challenges for homeschoolers in the actual college admissions process?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think there's always lots of question marks, right? The college process itself is, like we said earlier, daunting and overwhelming to families at times. Which application do I fill out? Which forms do I need to send? Who do I need to ask to send things on my behalf? So I think there's just a lot of questions. And when you're in the homeschool setting, then perhaps those question marks are even greater because you're wanting to make sure that you're sending everything that's going to help you represent yourself and your education and your background. And again, you don't have someone else doing that for you necessarily, like would happen in a different type of high school setting. So for us, what we want to make sure that students and families know is that those challenges that you're seeing, please know that we want to help you with those. If you ever have questions, we are happy to be your resource and help provide additional information for you. But a lot of times it is simple as making sure that you use all the resources to share information with us. So a challenge might be, are they okay with this transcript that we've put together as a family? Do we need to provide more detail and more information? Do we need to share? Do we need to take standardized tests? Are there other things that are required for a homeschool family versus a student coming from a traditional high school background? So, one of the things that I think to just always know, and if you do see any of these roadblocks with colleges and universities you're applying to, is never hesitate to send a quick email or pick up the phone and call us. And I'm speaking for my colleagues at other institutions now as well to say that we are happy to support you and help you because sometimes you help us know something that should be more blatant on our website or should be more helpful or more available to you as a family. So please don't ever hesitate just to reach out and let us know if there are questions that you have in the process. We always tell students, no matter their background, use that application to the best of your ability. If there's a personal essay section, please make sure to complete it and let us know more about you and your background. Use the activity section, use the section on the application to tell us more about yourself. And that helps us to have additional context when we're reviewing your application as well. So I think those are the kinds of challenges that you might face is just, do I have enough information? Am I presenting enough information? And as long as you are one, following directions that the school's given you, but two, never hesitate to reach out and ask if you feel like as a homeschool family you don't fit into the information or the FAQs on the website. If there's ever things that a school could provide and help and give you additional support, we want to hear from you and we want you to let us know how we can help you.
So you kind of touched on this, but you didn't say specifically. So I would love if you could give us an answer. Does Radford University require homeschoolers to take the SAT or ACT, or do you accept the CLT, or is it
Absolutely.
just optional?
Yeah, we're fully test optional. So yes, when I was speaking a moment ago, definitely trying to think about like all colleges and universities and what they may require. But for Radford specifically, we are absolutely test
Mm,
optional, and we
awesome.
will be using your credentials from your homeschool transcript. If you have taken community college courses or other tests or other subject specific work that you want to share with us, we would welcome all of that, and that helps us again when we're looking at the context of your background and how you have, taken advantage of any opportunities that's been presented to you.
Okay, and so that would include dual enrollment. I know, is
Yes,
that correct? I know a lot of homeschoolers
absolutely.
are using that in high school. So, yeah,
Yes.
that would just help knock off some courses when they enter, right?
Absolutely. It's always helping you prepare for the next level. And I always tell students anytime you have a chance to take advantage of additional advanced coursework of that nature, it's a wonderful thing to do because it just helps you to be more prepared and more confident when you make that transition to college. And yes, potentially also have some credits that you can bring in with you to additionally support your college experience.
So, at the time of this interview, we are in October
Yes.
of 2023. I am just so curious, where do we stand in the timeline for a high schooler? Could a senior apply now for Radford? Would you prefer it to be a junior? Or sophomores starting to apply? How does that aspect work
Yeah.
as far as what grade?
Yeah, great question. So students will apply in their senior year of high school to Radford. So for us, our application went live on August 1, and that's the traditional timeline for most colleges and universities. So for your students out there that are in your senior year of your completing your high school equivalency right now, then we would definitely recommend that you go ahead and submit those applications to Radford. We have a November 1 early action deadline, and that allows us to start sending out decisions on a rolling basis after November 15th. And so the sooner you apply, the sooner we can get that decision to you. We don't actually have an application fee at Radford. We're really fortunate that we're not requiring that at this time. So that gives students an
Wow.
opportunity. It's kind of like, why not? Go ahead and send us your application. And then, of course, we'll follow up with scholarship opportunities, financial aid process, and additional things to help you and support you in, again, that college application review process overall. And so it's a wonderful time to go ahead, seniors, and work on your applications. Juniors and sophomores and younger students and families listening out there, please know that we do a lot of programming to support your students. So as you are thinking about your timeline in the spring, there'll be opportunities to come visit for those juniors and sophomores to learn more, and we'd love to host you on campus at any time. But this fall, we do have two open houses on October 28th and November 11th. We can add those links to register in the chat, or make sure that you reach out to me, and I'd be happy to support you with that as well.
Yeah, I think that would be great for parents to have those links, if they want to come
Yes.
check it out and just see what it's like. I think it's great for the students, for the parents. And um, another quick question about when a student puts in their application, like you said,
Mhm.
hopefully before November 1st, right? You said you'll start making decisions then. When would a student expect to receive their letter? I remember being so nervous about this acceptance letters my
Yes.
senior year, but when would they expect that? How long after
Yeah.
November 1st?
Yeah, so we've made a commitment if students applied by November 1st, as long as we have everything we need to make the decision, we've made a commitment to start sending decisions out November 15th, and then it will go out on a rolling basis. So let's say your student submits their application and becomes complete with us with their uh, transcript and any of materials that we needed, then we would definitely encourage them to to get that in as soon as possible, of course, but let's say it all came complete November 5th. It's still very likely that we would get a decision to them before the end of November, and we'll continue, of course, just to send them out as soon as our admissions team can review those and get that information to them. We actually have a new process this year where students with a 3.3 GPA and also completing Algebra 2 before their graduation will be able to receive a direct admit to Radford. So we're fortunate to know that we're sort of taking away some of the,
Wow.
again, just trying to be as transparent as possible and taking away some of the nervousness in the process. It doesn't mean students that do not meet those criteria wouldn't be considered. We'll review those holistically, but they'll have an opportunity to get a decision turned around pretty quickly if they meet those criteria.
That's a big deal. That is
Yeah.
incredible. Wow. So, what kind of advice would you give parents right now? Maybe they're
Yeah,
nervous about, you know, sending their
absolutely.
kid off to college. What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the biggest piece of advice, and I've been fortunate to sit on lots of panels in college admissions programs over the years and get to work with a lot of parents through the process. And my biggest advice would be to keep an open mind. I think that sometimes we go into things, big decisions in our life, thinking that there's only a couple different answers and a couple different ways that things would go. But my recommendation from a lot of the families that I've worked with is to keep an open mind, because if I've heard it once, I don't know how many times that I've heard it, a family saying, "Oh, wow, we didn't know this," or "We didn't know about this. This changes everything," and of course, again, that would be wonderful for it to be Radford, but I'm also just encouraging you, no matter the school that your student is interested in, just to keep an open mind, because when you get to start visiting those schools and meeting those colleagues and meeting those students and faculty and all the individuals that make up that campus community, you start to learn what that looks like for your student and how those individuals are going to wrap their arms around them and support them and really help them be the best versions of themselves and give them every opportunity to grow and learn. And of course, we're all like, it's the roots and wings conversation as a parent, Heather. I would say, like, we know we're giving them the roots as a parent to give them that great strong foundation to be the best versions. And so then when we give them those wings, we want them to know that it's going to be at least a place that you feel like there's some soft landings and some areas where people are going to be looking out for them. And I know Radford has that belief, and that's how we approach a lot of the things that we do as a campus community. So I would say definitely parents and family members and supporters of students to keep an open mind and know that there's a lot of amazing options out there for your students and lots of wonderful places that they will find what they're looking for. But I think not going into it with just it has to be this or this, just kind of being open, seeing what you learn, seeing what you find out, and giving yourself and your student the opportunity to just kind of see what's out there and be able to learn and explore a little bit in the process.
That's really good advice. Absolutely. So, one last question I do have. I was wondering, maybe you can touch on, and you said after a student, receives an acceptance letter,
Mhm.
what kind of information can they expect for financial aid and possible scholarships? Scholarships are, that's the big question I know in a
Yeah.
lot of minds with seniors or juniors right now.
Yeah.
Can you talk about
No,
that a little
absolutely, and thank you for the opportunity. I was hoping we could circle back to that quickly as well. So, there is a new financial aid process this year through the federal government, through the FAFSA. If you're not familiar, it's the free application for federal student aid is the form that colleges and universities use to award financial aid, especially thinking through the federal money, but also the state-based funds and things that schools offer. So that process, in the past several years, families could fill those forms out in October and submit them to the schools that they're interested in applying to. The process is changing this year, updating the FAFSA and some things the federal government is doing. So there will not be, the form won't be ready until later in December. So that's definitely something that we're all a little nervous about, because we know the process changes means potential confusion for families. But I do recommend to stay tuned for any applicants. We're going to be sending out information letting you know, hey, the FAFSA is open. We encourage you to go in and fill this information out so that we can then award you and look at provide a financial aid package to you. So again, getting the application for admission in sooner rather than later means that we'll include you in lots of communication and information to support you through the process as well. But the FAFSA forms, again, most colleges and universities will recommend that they are submitted to those schools in February, and March 1 is going to be a deadline that I think a lot of schools will use this year. But I recommend doing it just as soon as you can, as soon as it becomes available. And then, in addition to that, merit based scholarships. So, we're going to be including your merit based scholarship award based on your high school performance, your transcript that we're going to be receiving through your homeschool environment. We will use that for merit-based scholarship awards, and students that have a 3.0 or higher are going to be in the area where they'll be receiving some scholarship amounts from us. So it'll be a range of scholarship opportunities. 3.0 and higher will be able to give you the opportunity to have some cost taken away for your school at Radford, and we are one of the most affordable. And of course, the other thing to keep in mind is that those merit-based scholarships, we call them our Highlander Distinction Program, those are going to be renewable. So as long as you maintain a GPA at Radford as a current student, you'll be able to take that money with you every year for 4 years at Radford. So that's a wonderful opportunity for our students to be able to be recognized for your hard work and what you've been doing in making sure that we are able to award you for that.
That's absolutely incredible. You have so much to offer, and it's been so wonderful hearing everything about Radford University. And I want to mention, everyone watching, this is not exclusive to those who live in Virginia.
Yes.
I know a lot of our viewers, are across the U.S. and Canada and international, and you accept students from
Yes.
everywhere, pretty much, or internationally.
Absolutely. No, we definitely are happy to work with students and families wherever you're coming to us from. We definitely have a strong presence, of course, with our Virginia families, but we absolutely have representing many states and many countries as well that find their way to us. And we are excited to be able to work with any students, whatever your background is. We're going to try to help you learn what Radford can do for you.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. I appreciate your time. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another Homeschool Live. And I just want to let you know that you have until November 1st, if you are a schoolhouseteachers.com member, to go ahead and sign up in your member dashboard for the NAC. That's the National Academic Homeschool Competition, NAHC. And if you are a schoolhouseteachers.com member, you receive half price. So you pay only $55 to enter this contest, where November 1st will be the first round. And if you make it to the second round, there's actually 3 rounds. And if you make it to the championship round and come out on top for your age level, then you can walk away with a cash prize, which last year our winner, one of our top winners, used as they used it basically as a scholarship for college. So it's a wonderful opportunity, whether you're considering Radford or another university, another college or community school, or wherever you're thinking. It prepares you for the SAT, the ACT, and the college admission process. So I just want to give you a little sneak peek into that you need to learn about the college admission process, because there's actually questions on this test that include that. And some of the students don't realize that. So if you're watching this, know that you need to check out the Total College Success that you can access with schoolhouseteachers.com, so you can learn more about the process. Thank you again for tuning in. And I want to give you that link again. It is nacregistration.com. And we will give you the link for Radford University one more time, and it will be in the comments. Oh, and one more thing. Keep remembering, Rebecca has offered to provide her email. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to her. We will put that in the comment section, so you can absolutely reach out to her if you have any questions, if you're watching this after our recording. So we will see you next time on another Homeschool Live. Bye.
Thank you.